Hi, it's Megan. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you in my morning routine. So here I am making my bed. I do this every morning after I try to kind of slowly wake up. I'm not the fastest morning person if I don't have to be. So every morning I get dressed, in my exercise clothes, I read my scriptures, do a little devotional, and then make my bed. And the day that I filmed this was a Monday, which also means that is my laundry day. I tend to wash all of our clothes on Monday, fold it all on Monday, and then I generally don't do any more laundry until it's Monday again. And while I am doing the laundry, my oldest daughter, Lucy, has woken up and she is able to make her bed by herself and get herself dressed. And then once those things are done, I come and do her hair and get her ready for school. She does go to preschool 4 days a week, and my husband takes her and drops her off. So while he's getting ready for work, I am kind of in charge of getting the girls ready. I usually also get Isla up, get her diaper changed, and start giving her her morning milk kind of after we get Lucy ready, and then we all head downstairs together. So, like I mentioned, this is a Monday that I filmed this, and it was actually the Monday after we had birthday parties for Lucy. We had 2 birthday parties for her with various family members. So my kitchen was a complete wreck, and it depends on the weekend. Some weekends I'm pretty good about like keeping up on my kitchen and keeping it clean, staying on top of dishes. But this weekend we just had so many things going on that it was just a complete wreck, and we got back late on Sunday night and got the girls quickly to bed, and I was just too tired to try to clean it. So it was extra messy today. So in this morning routine, you'll see that I do quite a bit of cleaning. I don't usually do that necessarily every day. I do spend some mornings cleaning, but not usually quite as much as it's shown in this video. So I usually get Lucy her breakfast right away. I get Isla her morning milk right away. She usually just lays down and drinks that. And then while Lucy's eating, I work on emptying the dishwasher if it wasn't empty already. Most of the time I run it at night, so it's clean in the morning and I unload it while Lucy eats. But this morning it looks like Ben had unloaded the dishwasher for me already. So the night before, and I was able to just start loading it, which is really nice. It looks like Lucy's eating applesauce this morning, which was applesauce that I had canned. And I also made her some toast as well. And then you can see Isla must have finished her milk by now because she's running around. And she often will get into the dishwasher while I'm trying to load or unload it. So I kind of have to be quick when I'm doing it when she's drinking her milk. So that way she's not getting into the dishwasher. So here I am giving Isla a little bit of breakfast. Usually after she drinks her bottle, she kind of wanders around and snacks a little bit. For her breakfast, she doesn't usually eat like a full breakfast. Some days she does, some days she doesn't. It just kind of depends. So this day I was just giving her the last couple scoops of Lucy's applesauce. And then she ran off to play, and now she's back. We have a little stool right here. It's not the safest, so I do have to stay pretty close to her and watch her pretty closely. And she wanted some leftover bread that we had. So I gave her, it must have been a roll, I think. And then there's a bag of groceries for the pantry that I hadn't unloaded yet. So I worked on unloading those, and then just worked on kind of wiping down the counters. And I was getting my cup of water ready for my walk in the morning. I keep 1 pitcher of filtered water in the fridge so that I always have cold water. And then I keep ice in my freezer so that I can always have icy drinks. And then I fill up my filtered pitcher that I just keep out on the counter. Here we are, all ready to go on our walk. Can you say hi, Isla? Isla. Good wave. Isla. Can you say hi? Do you like going on walks? So it's been pretty cold here in the mornings, so that's why Isla is in her snowsuit, even though there's not any snow. It just is a good way for her to stay warm without her kicking off blankets constantly, which used to be a problem until I just decided to put her in her snowsuit while we go on our walks in the mornings. How was your walk, Isla? What did you get? You got a leaf? Did you get a leaf? Is that so fun? Isla, did you have a good walk? Yeah, was it good? So usually we walk for about 45 minutes. We just kind of walk through our neighborhood to a local park that has a sidewalk all the way around it. And so we do a couple laps there and then we walk home. After we got back, I showered and got ready. Yes, I am wearing different clothes. This is a different gray shirt and gray leggings that are not my exercise clothes. And so I got home, got ready, started another load of laundry, switched the stuff into the dryer, started a new load to be washed. And generally when I do laundry, I do kind of 2 loads for me and Ben, colors for 1 load, whites, and towels for another load. And then I have I put all the girls' laundry together. Just makes it a lot easier for me to fold when I kind of separate it that way. And then this day, I put Isla down for a nap, and then I was working on a YouTube video. It looks like I had done a voiceover, and I was putting it in to edit. And I'd done the video edits, I had recorded the voiceover, and then I just had to put it all in together. Now, Isla was still sleeping, so I came back down to the kitchen after I finished that computer work, which was kind of like my most pressing thing for the day. And I came back down to the kitchen and continued to clean because I made a good dent in it in the morning before Lucy went to school, but there's still a lot more to do. So Isla got up from her nap, and then I decided to hand wash the dishes that I didn't get to before. I run the dishwasher, and then there were still a few things that needed to just be hand washed. So I always wear gloves when I do that. It helps protect my hands, which get really, really dry. It also helps protect my nails. I do Olive and June at-home manicures, which I love doing. In order for them to last as long as they do, I always wear gloves when I'm washing dishes, and that really seems to help my manicures last for a solid week. If you're interested in getting an Olive and June system and starting to try that out yourself, I'll leave my link down below, and you can get 20% off of your first mani or pedi system. I have both of them. I really like both of them. And I've been doing my nails like pretty much every week for the last year. I think I've only missed a handful of weeks doing my nails, and I just have really enjoyed doing it. It's something that has really helped my anxiety, which was really bad last fall. Because it gave me like a specific set aside time to just like sit, where I really did just have to sit, and I couldn't do anything with my hands. I just had to like sit and relax, and it was just something that I've really enjoyed doing and has been really good for my mental health, and just something good that I've enjoyed doing for myself. So here I am putting away some dishes. You saw that black box that I pulled down is where I keep kind of leftover containers or containers that I'm happy to give away when I take meals to people. So I was just putting some of those back, replenishing my supply with a few of the things that we didn't need anymore. And then here, again, I'm taking down some of the decorations, the purple plastic party tablecloth from Lucy's birthday party. So I'm getting that table put back together. We have these extendable leaves out from the edges, and so I was putting that back down so that we can have our normal size table, since it's just back to our family eating dinners at home. And then I just put all the chairs back, got out our seasonal tablecloth, which was a Halloween one, since I filmed this in October. And I'm trying to keep Isla out of Lucy's crafts, which is a daily battle that we have. So I just got the table put back together. It was kind of driving me crazy just having piles and not like my normal nice clear table. And then I'm putting some decorations back up on my little shelf and getting rid of a balloon that we didn't need anymore. And then I'm clearing out the bar stool so that I can do just a quick mop on my floor. I have Abyssal Crosswave, which I love. It has a vacuum and a mop all in one. And so you can use it as a vacuum, or you can use it as a vacuum and a mop combo. And I'm terrible at mopping my floors. I do not do a good job at it. And so I got this in hopes that I would at least be able to kind of spot clean and do like a lighter mopping much more often than like pulling out my steam mop and having to sweep or vacuum and then having to go over the exact same space and mop. So here I am just getting the solution into the tank and the water into the tank. We have really hard water, so I use distilled water in it just so that the vacuum and mop will last longer. And it does a really good job. It doesn't, if I have lots of really like big sticky messes, it doesn't fully clean them up, but at least it gets like the main stickiness off and does keep my floors pretty clean until I can actually get out my steam mop and really like tackle the really tough spots. But it works really well, and I have been super, super happy with it. I vacuum and clean my floors so much more often now, which was the reason I wanted to get it, was just because I was not doing it as often as I should, just with like a broom and my regular mop. And so by being able to do it all in one also saves me a ton of time, because I can go over my kitchen floor just once and I'm vacuuming and I'm mopping. So I'll make sure I link this down below in the description box with my Amazon affiliate link. I don't know if they still have the model that I have right now, but if not, I'll link one that's similar to the one that I have. Hi, so thanks for spending the morning with me so far. Right now, we are in the car on our way to go get Lucy from preschool. Before we did that, I stopped and picked up something that I got off of Facebook. I'm in a Buy Nothing group, which is actually a way that I've gotten quite a few like toys and things for my girls and other things for my home for free. And then I've put up lots of things for free and people come and take them out of my hands, so I don't have to deal with them anymore, which is great. So if you haven't already, look for your neighborhood and see if you have a Buy Nothing group, because they are super, super awesome. So I just went and picked up some doll clothes from that. Hi, Isla. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna go? Gonna go get Lucy? Okay, come on. So we picked up Lucy from school. How was school today, Lucy?
Good.
And now we are going to get an oil change, and then we need to go get gas before we head home for lunch. So some days after I pick up Lucy from school, we do run a couple errands. Some days we just come straight home. It just kind of depends on what we have going on that day. So this day we did go run a few errands, and then we came home a little bit before lunchtime, so I had enough time to finish drying and putting away some of the dishes that I hand washed earlier that morning. They dried a little bit, but we're still a little bit wet. So I was able to dry those, get them stacked up and put away. And then I was able to get started on lunch for the girls. And then today for lunch, I just made the girls some chicken nuggets and some fruit and veggies. This is just a super quick lunch that I usually make for them maybe once a week, once every other week. Both of the girls really love fruit, which is awesome, and they both are pretty good with vegetables. Lucy likes a lot of vegetables. Isla, we're still like introducing them to her. She's pretty good with it. Both of my girls are actually really, really good eaters, which I am super grateful for, because I am a very picky eater. So I'm glad that my girls are not like me. They're much more like their dad, my husband, who will eat pretty much anything that's in front of him, which is wonderful. And then I'm just cutting up Isla's lunch just into smaller pieces, so it's easier for her to chew so she doesn't choke. She does have a few teeth, but she still needs her things chopped up pretty small so that they're easier for her to eat. And then for Lucy, in addition to her oranges and her chicken nuggets, I am just slicing up a few of these sweet mini peppers. For her, she loves peppers. They're one of her favorite veggies. So I had a few of these in my fridge, so I just chopped those up for her. I also chopped up just a few like little teeny tiny ones for Isla to try. She hadn't really had peppers before. She'd had them a couple times. So I just gave her a few on her plate just for her to try and see what she thought. That day, she didn't really love them, but I just kind of keep introducing them, and eventually I'm sure she'll eat them and just enjoy them. So I got the girls sat down, had them start eating their lunch, and then while they were eating, I just decided to do a little bit of kind of fridge clean out and prep. So I had a few more of these sweet mini peppers. So I just decided to kind of cut them, clean them out, chop them up, and then I'm going to put them in just some small like snack size containers. So that way Ben or Lucy can take them and eat them for snacks or have them with their lunches or whatever they need to, and they're already chopped and ready to go. This is one of my favorite ways to make sure that fruit and veggies get eaten, is if I take the time to actually prep them, then they're much more likely to get eaten before they go bad. It also reminds me that those are the things that we have. And so I try to stay on top of it that way to make sure that they get eaten before they go bad. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare some lunches for my husband. He usually packs his lunch, but if there's like specific leftovers or things that I want him to take for lunch, I found that it's most helpful if I kind of package them up and just leave them in the fridge on kind of our leftover shelf, and then say, these are the ones for you to take for lunch. That way, again, I kind of can just help manage our food consumption and our leftovers just to make sure that things are getting eaten. So we made like a mac and cheese bake and pulled pork sandwiches for one of Lucy's birthday parties. And so we had a little bit left over. So I just divided the mac and cheese into 2 bowls, and then I put some of the pulled pork on top. I also had some of the pulled pork in these freezer bags. And then you'll see after this, I stick it just straight in the freezer for us to eat for another meal, like in a couple of weeks. And I was able to do all of that prep while my girls were eating their lunch, which is super awesome that I was able just to kind of be using my time while they're eating their lunch. And then after lunch, I put Isla down for her nap, and then I do some homeschool with Lucy. She does go to preschool. I do piano lessons with her, which you saw. Super short, and she just barely has been doing it for a couple of weeks, so she's just barely learning. And then we just do a couple of things on the days that she does go to preschool. We review about 5 letters and their sounds each day, also the American Sign Language sign for that letter. And then we practice 2 or 3 new sight words that she's working on. When she gets those down pretty well, I put them into like our big stack, and she practices the sight words that she already knows and has kind of passed off. And we review all of those every day. She's working on the Fry sight words. If anyone is a teacher, I was a first grade teacher, and that's the sight word list that I'm most familiar with. So she has been working on those, and she is she's almost through the first 2 lists on the first 100. So she knows about 50 sight words and is doing really good with those. And then something that we've also been doing is we usually read a Bob book each day. She usually works on those for about 2 or 3 days. After that, she's very proficient with reading them and kind of passes it off with me, and then we start the next one. And then she also has been reading early readers. We started with Dick and Jane and kind of reading through all of those. Early readers, we just read like one of the chapters in each of those books after we read our Bob book. And she's been doing really well with those. And then we just have a few like preschool, kindergarten workbooks that we usually do a couple pages of. We usually get most of them just from the Target dollar spot at back to school time or from the dollar store. I also have some bigger, thicker ones that are highlights and one other brand that I can't remember right now. We haven't done the bigger ones yet. I've been having us work through these smaller ones first, and then once we're done with those, we'll kind of start cruising through those bigger workbooks. But the skills come easily, but she needs to work on her handwriting and her like fine motor skills more. So that's mostly what I use them for, and we do a couple of those each day, and then she goes down for her quiet time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.